Just going to spend the first 5 minutes meditating and just connecting the body to the breath, to the moment, to your mat. No right or wrong here. Your practice. Listen to kind of your little ritual before you start practice. Just use this time to check in. Just feel. Allow your awareness to spread throughout the body. Very good. Exhale, bring your hands to your center. I want you to lengthen through the spine and just keep the crown facing up. As slowly as we inhale and exhale, I just want you to bring one arm forward and one arm back. So this arm, the elbow draws back using the rear delt, keeping the shoulder down. So we're shrugging the arms. We're going to keep that relaxed, and you're going to press your fist forward or your palm. We're going to push through the palm. You're going to feel your shoulder protract forward. It's going to stretch around the back of the shoulder. We're going to keep our neck in line, looking forward at the same spot. So find your drishti. And I don't care what pace of breath you keep on the inhale and exhale. Just breathe with what feels natural to you. And we're just going to move with the breath, inhaling and exhaling forward. And I want you to let your thoracic spine move. So whilst you do this, you're breathing in and out, you're moving back and forward. I want you to allow your torso to move. So when we go back, allow this part to shift as your arms extend, as your right arm comes back and your left arm forward. Let your shoulders and your thoracic spine move. Because our hips are anchored into the mat, we're externally rotating through the femurs. We're going to lock the lower part of the body. So we're really going to find a nice movement through the thoracic spine. Keep the head still. Breathe. And I really want you to explore your limits here. So really draw the elbow backwards. Really extend through that palm. Feel the openness through your shoulders. See if you can feel that twist in your thoracic spine. Can you actually feel the muscles stretching underneath the ribs, intercostals? Just feel everything moving. Now we're going to take this a little bit further. When we're at the extension, our full range, okay, I want you to take a deep inhale. Feel the rib cage expand, thoracic spine, and the back, and everything expand outwards. And then when we release, we exhale. And then just as we finish in the exhale, we extend all the way through. At the tip of your extension, inhale. And exhale. Breathe in. Nice and slow. Find your pace. Notice how the body feels different. Notice the change in the range of movement. Okay, last one here on this side. Breathe in. We're going to take 5 deep breaths here. Feel the ribcage expand. Reach further. Last breath. Inhale. And exhale. Breathe. Focus. Last. And exhale. Both arms forward. Protract, protract, protract. So drawing your shoulder blades forward, stretching around the back. Now from here, we're going to press the palms together and we're going to open the elbows, but we're going to keep that protraction through the shoulder. We're going to see if we can stretch that upper back without shrugging. We're not shrugging. We're trying to open that back round. We're trying to create this nice, big, wide circle. Okay, and breathe in. Breathe in. Feel your back expand, the back rib cage. Deep breath. Imagine your shoulders coming round, your elbows going round. Last breath here. And exhale. Relax the arms. It's probably feels quite nice to relax the shoulders there. Give them a bit of a wiggle and move them about a bit. Perfect. Okay. Now, what I want you to do here, actually, I'll turn to the side. If at any point you need to stretch your legs out, please feel free. And from our nice straight back position, we're going to send the arms forward, and then we're going to extend backwards as far as we can. But what we're going to be mindful of here is that we don't lift up the lip rib cage, so we don't lift up like this. Okay, we're going to keep the core active, depending on your flexibility there. So we want to keep that spine nice and straight. We're going to keep the core active, lengthen through the crown, and we're going to draw the arms back. Use those mid traps, those lower traps. Be mindful that when you get back here, you're not lifting up. We want to keep the core tight. Doesn't matter how far you go, and we're going to exhale back. And you can even add a nice rotation to the joint here. So thumbs to touch. As we exhale, bring them back. Okay, very good. of a space with your breath. Open. And we want to keep everything in line. So we want to anchor through the glutes, feel grounded through the mats. Come back with control. Back forward. Good, 2 more. This last one we're going to hold. Beautiful. Core tight. Take your right thumb down towards the mat. Roll it all the way around and let that one shoulder really rotate over. And that left one, because we're already fully rotated back, got this nice twist through the shoulders. And from here, we're going to take right pinky all the way around, wrist, shoulder back, followed by the opposite shoulder, humerus, hand all the way over. And we're going to see if we can maximally rotate through the shoulder joints. This is getting a little bit strong. We're getting nice and warm in the shoulder joint. Then take a break. But we've only got a few more left. Very good. And relax there. Bring the hands back to your center. And relax. Okay, we're going to just come back to our meditation. Take a moment to just feel into your body and breathe. Feel into your shoulders. Feel into your spine. Let's calm your heart. Come back to your focus. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to bring ourselves to a kneeling position. So, tell you what, we'll stretch the legs out first before we come to a kneeling position. You just need to give them a little tap. And we'll also come into a forward fold, just to get into the hamstrings a little bit. Before we do that, actually, just lean back into the hands. Just take the feet out, so a bit wider, shoulder width apart. And just roll your foot in and out. And you really want to just make sure the movement's coming right at the top into the hip here. So keep your foot dorsiflexed. So flex your toes back. That's it. You feel the movement deep within the hip. There shouldn't be any discomfort or sharpness in the knee. Okay, bring them back forward. Actually tilt the tailbone this time. Inhale. It's time and forward. And breathe. and release. Okay, very good. So nice kneeling position. Okay, hands underneath. And what we're going to work on here is just exploring a bit of range into the hands and just seeing where you're at in terms of a bit of strength. So index finger pointing forward, spine nice and straight. We want to imagine we're creating some traction to the spine, so the pelvis is going that way, crown of the head is this way. Now with your fingers spread, what we're going to do is see if we can lift up our palms and then press back down. Kathy, I want you to be a little bit mindful here with your wrists. This may be a good one for you to strengthen them, but just be mindful. If not, we can take some blocks to take the weight out, and similarly, depending on the size of the blocks, just adjust so you can keep like the tips of your fingers bent over, and that might take some of the angle off, but just be mindful that the blocks aren't as stable that way. And what I want you to do is just breathe up, hold, and down, and see if you can come down with a couple of seconds. So don't just drop onto the palms. See if you can find that nice stretch and slowly control down. So the more you bring your palms back to you, the harder this is. And lift up and down, lift up and down. Really good. Okay, 2 more. And relax back down. Very good. Okay, taking the right arm into the floor. Going to see if we can just start to rotate the left round. So just finding some nice stretches to the left wrist. Just explore the movement. Clockwise, anti-clockwise. And then find that with the opposite side as well. Okay, very good. From here, we're going to send the left hand to the right top corner of your mat, and we're going to take a nice big melting heart, bringing the right elbow down. We're going to keep the shoulders straight, and then from here we're going to take 3 deep breaths in, feeling the back and the rib cage expand in all directions. And just feel the body relax on the exhale. It feels pretty good. Let's do 2 more reps. Okay, press back up. I think by the 5th breath in, I could really start to feel the lats just start to let go. So exhale down. Melt forward. Find that stretch in the rear delts and lats and down the right hand side. Deep breath in. Exhale. Deep breath in. Last exhale. And lift back up. Perfect. Well done. Okay, we're going to come up onto our knees. If your knees were a little sore on the mat for so long, wrap up your mat, get a towel, get something to put underneath them. Now, really simply, we're going to tuck our tailbone here. So we're going to activate the glutes slightly. And we're going to keep a nice straight posture. We're going to see if we can just start to swing the arms. Now, I don't want you to kind of keep them really rigid. I want your hands to open. I want you to find your drishti. Keep your head still. And just like we were doing before, see if you can just start to let your torso rotate as you move. Okay. So it's really subtle. The arms are moving straight. big dynamic movements at the shoulders, what you should feel is that there's a gentle movement at the thoracic spine. The head stays still, the hips stay still, so the lumbar spine and your neck is still, and we're just getting that movement, gentle grease of the groove through your thoracic spine. And the more you do this, the more you'll just feel like someone just squirted a bit of oil through your back. Really nice to loosen off tension. When we're talking about mobility and stretching in yoga, it doesn't always have to be long holds. Nice movements like this really help to loosen the joints, get synovial fluid moving, just getting everything nice and lubed up, moving as they should be. Breathe into it. Gets quite meditative. Allow your eyes to close. Just keep your drishti strong, whatever feels good for you. You'll find that the weight of your hands start to take you forward, and you just get into that nice rhythm. I can feel my core stretching a little bit. It's nice. And after about 50 reps, I've just felt a little crick in a good way in my thoracic spine. Okay, very good. Start to slow that down. Cool. Now, what I want you to do is imagine that you have just something in your hands. Actually, I'll tell you what, we can bring our hands into steeple pose. And as we inhale, we're going to swing our arms all the way up. And we're going to point to one side. This is going to shift the hips over. Lift all the way up and point to the other. And that's it. Breathe. And move. It's okay to let the hips shift over. We're not exaggerating, we're just letting the body move as it feels. So naturally, to counterbalance, you'll do that, but you're not exacerbating it by really pushing the hips across. Okay, a couple more times. And you can feel it in your shoulders. It's just the weight of your arms, but you start to feel it. Well done. Okay, just like before, I'm going to see if we can extend forward and extend back. Just letting that thoracic spine move. I won't do it too much. Now and back. Hold. Deep breath in. Expand. Exhale. Lovely. Okay. I'm going to step off the knees a moment because we've been on for a little while. So from your kneeling position, we're just going to press the hands down, tilt the tailbone, and we're going to move into downward facing dog. But we're going to keep the knees bent, we're going to press through the hands, and we're going to send it back. Keep the knees bent, tailbone is pushed to the sky, and the weight goes through the hands. So nice straight line from the wrists, shoulders to the hips, then extend the legs. If the heels are off the floor, don't worry, just make sure there's a nice straight line and the weight is being transferred through the palms and into the fingertips. Then going to bend at the knees, and then press back. So we want to come back to this all fours position and then press back into plank. So you're going to have to shift your shoulders over your hands, drop the knees, activate the glutes, and send back, okay? So this movement starts with the hands, keep going, breathe. The knees have to tap the floor, it's absolutely fine. Very good. Nice, Tara. Good, Jenny. Okay, excellent. Very well done there. So one last thing here, when we press back, keep the knees nice and soft. We're going to keep long through the hands. So as you push into the palms, you'll feel the weight transfer to the feet. We're not pushing the chest to the floor. We're creating traction through the spine. From here, take the weight into the right hand. See if you can lift the left hand off, keeping everything exactly the same. The left hand can come to the right knee if you want, or under the armpit, doesn't matter. Replace the hands, everything's locked. For everything the same, and back off. Okay, we're just going to repeat for that. Make sure you transfer the weight evenly. Okay, it's getting challenging now, last time. Perfect. From here, we're going to kick the feet back down towards the floor, roll over into an upward facing dog. We're going to squeeze the glutes, point the toes. We're going to draw the chest forward. We're going to try and lengthen through the spine. We're not causing compression to the lower back. We're lengthening the spine. And exhale, bringing ourselves back into child's pose. Bum on the floor, head down towards the mat. And the next inhale, lifting up. Perfect. Okay. From here, we're going to take the left foot to the inside of the left hand. You might need to let the left hand out of the way. Move the left hand out of the way. Now, we want to create a nice forward fold over this front leg. So try not to be like really rounded. Try and tilt the tailbone here and kind of fold over that front leg. So we're really activating this hip as we're doing this. From here, we're then going to send that back leg high. Awesome. From here, we're going to see if we can extend the hands out towards the sky. So remember what we were doing earlier by drawing the hands back. Keep the belly engaged. Lift the hands all the way back up nice and high. Press back through that right heel. Down through that right foot. Inhale. Lift up, lift the arms up, exhale back, forward fold. Inhale, lift up the arms, but belly tight, the rib cage level, and back down. 2 more times. And back. Last time. And down. Release the hands. Send the left foot back. Gentle tuck to the tailbone. Press into the hands. Into the feet. I want you to press into the fingertips, into the balls of the hand. And then when you're ready, right foot up. Find that nice forward fold over that front leg. That back leg is always already nice and long. Forward fold, extend. Lift up. Arms up. Chest and ribcage level. And down. Lift up. And back. Two more times. And final one. That may have been 2, but I think there we go. Release the hands. Send that right foot back. Very good. Back into downward facing dog. And this time we're going to push forward all the way, this time into upward facing dog, down into cobra. So fold at the elbows, point the toes, squeeze the glutes, roll your shoulders back, head forward. Deep breath in and exhale fully. So take a moment here. And then what we're going to do is roll to our backs into Shavasana. Oh. Okay, so arms to the side of the body. Now we're not actually using, well, technically we are, but now that the ground is supporting the weight of our arms, it's not just our delts. I want you to be able to articulate that shoulder and arm movement a little bit more clearly. So imagine that the different joints in your arm move at different times. So the first one to move is your shoulder. So just rotate the shoulder joint. Don't move the hand, don't move the elbow, and just rotate the shoulder as far as it can go. Feel it in your bicep, or you may feel it in your bicep. And then you want to rotate your upper arm, your humerus. That rolls over. And then from there, you want to rotate the forearm, and then the wrist, and then you try and lift the pinky up as high as you can. Okay, and then when you move backwards, just rotate the pinky back first, followed by the wrist, followed by the forearm, elbow, and then the shoulder. So you're trying to create that chain of movement through the upper arm. So shoulder, elbow, wrist, and hand. Okay, so when you have one arm kind of mastered and you feel like you've got it, or if it feels a bit weird, you can then send it across the body. So hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, shoulder, to the opposite side. Helps if you've got a bit of space. One rotates and the other rotates. And you're just exploring the range of your shoulder joints. Take your time and just feel as you move the whole arm. You might find it feels different, the stretch is different, or you may feel a little bit of tingling, whatever it may be. Just listen and just explore. And relax back there. Very good. Okay, now I want you to bring your knees up. I want you to tuck your tailbone. You know this by now. I want you to bring yourself into a slight bridge. Nothing major. Now this is a movement I actually heard or learned from a physio called David Gray. And this has been really good for my upper back and my shoulder mobility. From here, I just want you to reach forward and protract the shoulders. So you're rounding the upper back, you've got a top tailbone, and you're squeezing the glutes. The knees are over the feet, so you're not letting the knees drop out. So you're keeping your glutes active, keeping the knees up there. Now that in itself might be enough. So you may want to just hold there and feel that position. But if you can, keeping the hips nice and still, we're just going to reach over and tap the kind of northeast and northwest. Keeping the hips still. And you'll find that as you reach, you get a little twist. Now, we're not trying to twist the thoracic spine, but just by reaching, you will. You might find that your shoulders begin to shift a little bit, so you need to adjust your position, but make sure the tuck is there. You press down into the heels, and if you want to add a little bit more hamstring spice, just try and draw your heels back to your bum. You feel like the gap between your heels and your bum shorten. You'll feel your hamstrings engage. So really strong on the posterior chain, and really strong for strengthening your glutes and legs. Just take your time to reach and breathe. Beautiful movement for your longevity. For me, this just feels nutritionally equivalent to like a proper salad, not that kind of crap water salad that's just lettuce and tomato, like proper nutrition. It just feels like I'm doing so much for my body. Okay, last one. And relax. Drop the hips. And just take a moment. Bring your legs down into Shavasana. And just take a breath there. Okay, very good. Let's bring those knees back up. And we're going to come back into a bridge, same way. Tuck the tailbone, press into the heels, lift up. Now, I want you to lift a bit higher this time. Okay, so we have that nice high bridge. You can still kind of draw the shoulders round and protract the shoulders forward if you want to have that kind of high upper back position. But from here, what we're going to do is keep the glutes active so the knees stay nice and long. Bonus if you can keep your arms up and protracted, but if you want them by the sides with elbows on the floor, perfect. I'm going to see if keep the hips exactly the same position. I'm going to drop one foot down and one foot up. But I want you to keep tailbone tucked the whole time. So tucked underneath, glutes active. Don't let the pelvis move at all. So transfer the weight, should stay exactly the same position. Complete control. It's difficult. You're really going to have to press down through that foot. Draw the heel backwards. Very good. One more time on each leg. Okay, hips tucked. Excellent. Okay. Drop that down, bring your knees into your sector. Excellent. We're going to see if we could take the hands over the toes. We're just going to finish with a nice hamstring stretch and work on tilting the tailbone. If this is too much, take behind the knees or thighs. Just try and work your toes towards the ankles as much as possible and flex that backwards. We're going to bend at the knees, bring ourselves into happy baby. Let the weight of your legs and arms pull your hips down. Let your breath just wind you down. And just drop you out of your practice. And exhale, drop their ankles down. Find the corners of your mat. Palms face up. Deep breath in. And exhale out. Deep breath in. Dissolve on the exhale. Every exhalation, get a little deeper. Ever more relaxed. The next moment, next minute, let this relaxation permeate your body and your mind. The next inhale, take a deep breath in. Feel your whole body expand with your breath. And then begin to stretch the arms above the head, the feet together. And in a way that feels good for you. Joining me in a seated position. We'll come back to our meditation. Still feel that calm, that relaxation behind my eyes and in my body. I heard this quote from, I think it was Warren Buffett in The Investor. And he talks about, well, he mentions if you only have one car for the entirety of your life, there's no way of getting another, you'd look after it. Every time you notice a bit of rust, you would sort it out. Make sure it's serviced. Make sure it has the right fuel. This has to last you your entire lifetime. Perfect analogy for our body. So every time you get back to your mat, you move, build your movement pattern, you breathe, you nourish yourself, you look after your mind, you meditate. You're looking after that body, your mind, and our whole experience because of it. In the next inhale, bring your hands to your center. Push your palms together, your fingertips together. Thanks for joining me today. Namaste.